Allan McNish won the 2008 Le Mans in the Audi R10. Now, he liked that car so much, he ended up buying it. So what was so special about the R10, Allan?
It was a little bit of a Victor Kayam moment there for everybody that remembers the 70s adverts in the UK. The car itself, for me, was everything I wanted in a racing car. It had a huge amount of power and torque. We were well over 1,000 Newton meters of torque in that thing, 750 plus horsepower as well. But it was a beast of a car. It was a car that you had to really pick up and drive. You had to tell it what it needed to do. Because if you were anything but forceful and direct with it, then it would take control of you. And you were then just along for the ride. And I enjoyed that style of it because it was hard cut and thrust driving, and one that we had to adapt our style to as well. But ultimately as well, it brought 3 years of fantastic success for Tom Christensen, Dindo Capello and myself. We won 2 American Le Mans Series championships. We won the Le Mans 24 Hours in 2008, which I think certainly from my memory goes down as one of the best ever races because of the fight with Peugeot. From being, I think, 4 seconds a lap slower, we brought it back through the night in the rain just to win it on the final stop about 15 minutes from the end with a tyre choice in that sort of drizzly wet condition you get at Le Mans. And all the time the R10 was there underneath us. It delivered in every situation we needed it to do. It was robust, it was tough, it was a beast of a car, but to drive it was so fulfilling. And I just fell in love with the car, and that's it.
So can you have a favourite Le Mans win?
Well, fortunately, having more than one, you get the option to choose. Every race win is special, and the trophies, I keep the trophies not because of the trophy themselves, but because of the story behind it, because everyone's got its own story, and it's the little tiny details of it. Certainly, the 3 victories that I've got at Le Mans, each one has got its own story. But 08, partly because it was 10 years after the first, partly because every other Le Mans that I had raced, we had led and been in the position to win, but something or other had taken it away. The year before, in 2007, Dindo, myself and Tom were leading by, I think, nearly 2 laps on pure speed at 7 in the morning when the right rear wheel fell off, but it fell off after over 1.5 stints from when it was put on. So it's just one of these bizarre things, and that was it. We're out of the race. And very honestly, Louise, I did not believe another Le Mans victory was going to present itself like it did after that one, because we had done such a perfect job from start to finish, and still it wasn't coming. And so when we went to Le Mans the following year in 08, and we knew we had a pace deficit against Peugeot, we knew that we were going to have to maximize everything from the start of the weekend to the end of the weekend if we had any chance, absolutely any chance. But we pulled it off. And I think that makes it a little bit special because you've personal attachments. Certainly, I've got personal attachments with cars as well. And there's an element that, they've got human qualities. They've got ways, they've got little tweaks, the way that they react, the way that they like things and don't like others in the same way as we all do. And ultimately, when you've been with a car for such a long period at such a high speed in such an intense environment, then there definitely is a bond.
When could you get that car back out and drive it at some point?
At the moment, it's actually sitting in Audi in Neuburg, which is where the motor racing department is. And Christian Veck, who was a big part of our Le Mans programs through the 2000s, he's in charge of looking after it at the moment, and he keeps taking me down there and to have a little look at it every time I go in, and it's still there, and it's in the Petit Le Mans livery, because that was its final race, was Petit Le Mans 2008, where we had an almighty battle with Peugeot. It's the one where I dropped the car on the way to the grid and put it in the wall, and we repaired it and came back out a couple of laps down, but managed to sneak the victory right in the last gasp. And so we decided we were going to have it ended up in that final that final Petit Le Mans victory. But yeah, you could at some point get it back out and get it back onto the track, but it would be a very, very sedate run, I have to say. I don't want to do anything to damage it.
That's fair enough.